You are at Lake Rant, where I rant about whatever my $15 a month plus patrons want me to rant about. You can get one of these by being one of those. This one is for Sahus, who says, rant about late night anime, and more specifically about how people in Japan actually consume anime. Well, I can't speak too much on it since I don't live in Japan, don't have Japanese cable, and have not watched late night anime in its proper form, but I did write about this like a decade ago, just about the idea of late night anime, which is often like the more otaku oriented, lower budget, like possibly experimental, but more likely just like, trashy kind of shows. Like, there's not a lot of anime that airs in prime time slots, and if it does, it's gonna be something that's very widely appealing, and if you're talking about like shonen, Sunday morning rather, I meant to say, you're going to get like a lot of kids shows and, the Sunday morning cartoon kind of stuff. But like the stuff that airs late nights on weekdays is for people who stay up all night watching anime. And I think that there's an expectation that those shows are going to be a certain way, that like you shouldn't be expecting it to be like a well animated spectacle show. It doesn't exist for that purpose. It doesn't exist to service the maximum number of people. It exists for the otaku who watch late night anime, who just want to watch, these anime that appeal to them in very specific, fetishistic, usually ways. And I also think that a lot of those shows are not really meant to be taken that seriously, and it's a lot easier to watch like mediocre anime when you understand the language. And granted, a lot of people watch these anime dubbed. I think that just makes them worse. But like, if you just have it on in the background, like as an American anime fan, unless you're watching Toonami, you will rarely have anime just on in the atmosphere. You more likely are going to seek it out and play it. Maybe if you're like watching Netflix or you just have it like set to autoplay or something. But even then, you usually have to pick a show. You have to make a decision to go watch a specific show, and if you're like me, you're reading subtitles. So there's a certain level of effort and thought that goes into even deciding to watch something. And you have access to everything. So you're more likely to look at something that's not good and be like, I'm wasting my time. I am going out of my way to watch something that's not good. But if you just had the TV on, and it happens to be on, you're not committed. You didn't sit down and decide to watch this. It just happened to be on. You were in the mood to have a TV on. Maybe you're drawing. Maybe you're doing shit on the computer. Maybe you are watching it, but you're getting up and going to the bathroom and shit. Like, you can understand what's happening. There's commercial breaks. It's not like an intense viewing experience. And so I think there's a lot of shows that would be way more acceptable to people, especially in the West, if they were consumed that way. Like, I think of something like this season, Machikado Mazoku. If that show just came on, I would leave it on. Because, unless, there's something better on that I was, like, actively watching. But, like, it's just a quaint little show that's kind of funny and cute. And if I just had the TV running and that show came on, I would tune in and out to jokes here and there, just have it on in the atmosphere. And if I lived in Japan, I think I probably would, like, at late night, have my TV on to play anime, because I don't even have cable currently. Like, I don't watch TV. I do not casually watch things. I'm more likely to just play music if I need something to just be filling the atmosphere, or like YouTube videos from like the Needle Drop or something, like just something to just be on, that I'm not paying attention to. But like, I'm a pretty intense viewer. I usually am paying my full attention, especially because I'm watching a lot of stuff for work, and also just in general, I like to engage with whatever I'm consuming. And if I'm not consuming anything, I'm probably working or doing something else. So like, it's rare that I would just have something on in the atmosphere but if I did, it would be a very different viewing experience. So like shows that I probably would drop if I had to put them on, because I'm thinking, okay, I have sat down and dedicated time to watching anime. I should maximize the enjoyment of that time. Whereas, if it was more flippant, if it was casual, if it didn't really matter, it'd be a lot easier to watch those kinds of shows. And so I just think that I want more people to think about it that way when they're going in to criticize shows. And granted, I don't really present all this nuance in my videos when I, rip on bad anime, because that's just not really an interest. Like, it's too much of a conversation to be having on YouTube where people just want to see you talk shit about stuff. But, like, I don't really begrudge, like, late night anime for being bad, because I don't really think the point of it is to be good. So, yeah.